Okay, we're live on Facebook with James Ethington 3.
Hello.
How are you, man? You're in New Mexico, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How's things there with the current measures and the lockdowns and stuff?
Well, it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, where I'm from, it's just a small town, so we really don't go out and do anything anyways. So it wasn't that different of a transition. But it's killed my music though. I can't go play live anymore. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing at the moment with musicians, right? We're trapped in, we can't get out. And this is why I'm doing these promotional interviews for people who are stuck in lockdown, especially musicians and writers.
Yeah. And the first part, it was great because I actually put out my EP Recycle. So I had time to sit and do that. So that was great.
Some great songs like Becca, Looking Glass, which we'll get to. What was it? Sexy, Hot and Juicy or something? One of them.
Sexy, Juicy, Bouncy.
Yeah, that's it. And the art of life, or the art of love.
Art of My Life.
Art of My Life. Wow, what an intriguing title that is, you know?
Yeah.
So let's get to the album then. So how did you get the idea for it in the first place?
Well, it kind of came to me like a few years ago. As a writer, you constantly just write songs, right? Mm-hmm. And every song, for me at least, I might write maybe 2 songs today, and then tomorrow I write 2 more. I want you to hear those last 2 songs that I just wrote, the fresh ones, not the other ones. So I thought to myself, like, I should just do a record that's just all my old songs that no one's really ever heard, and record them and put it out, and I'll call it Recycle because I'm recycling these old songs. So that was in my head a long time ago, but I finally was able to just sit down and start writing. And as I was trying to go back and listen to old songs and try to, remember how to play them, remember the lyrics and all the other stuff, I started creating new songs. And I just kept the same name and put it out.
I love that idea, rechargeable, recyclable, and I like the logo as well with the bicycle on it as well.
I try to make it still, being like, as recycling my songs, recycle and being conscious about the environment and doing those kind of things too. Being in nature, kind of just even that picture, just standing out in nature and just looking around, it's like, wow, it's like very peaceful. It's a peaceful place that I wish I could, work as hard as I can with music and accumulate some kind of status, some kind of financial, place in my life where I could just take time off and just go to nature and be simple and just take in the trees and watch it, the creek and the little babbling brook and just hear. And, I want to work hard just to be simple.
Of course. That's what it's all about, man. Working hard, passionate about the music, enjoying it. And if you enjoy it, that's the main thing, right?
Right. Definitely. Yes.
So how long did it take you to write these songs? I know you said that we were there, but how long was it like a process?
Some songs quicker than others because I kind of had an idea with Art of My Life. I kind of wrote, it's like 3 different parts if you break it down that way, but I just had these little intricate parts that I had to kind of piece together. So that one kind of took a little bit longer, but Becca was like in a matter of a few days, was like, I kind of knew, I just tried some things out, but it usually doesn't take too long to write a song.
Oh, that depends. That depends.
Yeah. Some songs might take you 5 years. Some songs might take you 5 minutes. Yeah.
So what's your personal favorite on there?
Oh man, that's a good question. I would say
I can't believe I've stumped you.
You
Wow.
did. Wow. No one's ever asked me this question.
A man has loads of words on his songs and then can't answer.
I would
Sorry.
say, no, it's great. I would say, Looking Glass first. Well, I
Love
don't
that.
know. I love Looking Glass because it was so organic how it just fell out, and I like that. But I'll say close second would be Art of My Life because I had to piece that one together, and I had it for so long. So, but Looking Glass, I like that one.
Yeah, Looking Glass. That's the song that attracted me to you in a way. He like hooked me. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to speak to this guy.
Cool.
So
Yeah, you're
that
feeling
song
it,
did
huh?
it. Yeah,
I love it.
that song
Yeah.
made it.
What was that? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Sorry, that song made it for me. I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
that
want.
was on. Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's a pretty good song. You know, I like it. Well, I mean, I wrote it. I got it. But
and the other song, I noticed, Becca, you
yeah.
released it into a competition kind of thing.
Yes. So right now, I'm waiting till next week to see if Becca has won Song of the Year. So yeah, it's been on the a radio chart that actually premiered the song. The first radio station to play my song. It stayed on that radio station for 22 weeks, going on 23 weeks. So we're gonna see, and I'm tied with somebody else. So we're gonna see if it's gonna win Song of the Year. But I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you can't believe that. Like, what station's that on?
It's called Insanely Gifted Radio, and it's outside of it's in Austin, Texas.
Okay. Oh, I bet you can't wait. I'm going to put a vote in. I'll put a vote in. Don't worry.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I'll
Ready?
put a vote in. I've seen it advertised on Facebook and Twitter. So I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'll put it in there. Yeah. So
thank
where
you.
did that song, the Becca, come from? The inspiration for that one?
Becca actually came from a movie that I wanted to write. I wanted to write
A
this
movie? That would
movie.
be cool,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. it's
Wow.
it's a whole lot of
It's
writing.
all going on for you, right? It's all
Yeah, I'm
going on.
trying to. I want to be into music. I want to be into acting and getting into films and stuff. So I'm like, why not just start just writing films I can cast myself? But yeah, it started from Becca is a character in this movie I was trying to write, and I kind of got stumped because there's a lot of writing, and you just have to have all these ideas, and it was just me at the time. So I was like, oh, let's just put out the song. Let's incorporate the main character's feelings towards Becca and kind of see if we can't make a song out of it. And that's how it came about.
Wow, sounds an intriguing story. While we were talking there, we've got somebody wanting to join our feed, which is very odd. It's
Okay.
just called. There's a one guest down there. I'm thinking, do I want to press that? Not sure. Don't know who's coming through. So,
Uh,
okay. Well, you're attracting some attention down here, but that's all I can say.
hey, appreciate
That's
it.
great. And tell us about the art of my life.
Art of My Life is a funny one because while I was writing it, it was a joke. Like the whole song was a joke. I was just messing around, and I was trying to do my best Prince impersonation. And like,
Oh,
man,
okay.
how would he sing this song? And he just has this style, And I tried it. I failed, obviously, but because no one ever hears that in the in the song. But I
Worth
just
the
kind of
go.
was,
Worth the
yeah,
go.
I was just messing around, but it just came out with this song, Art of My Life, and uh, it just I don't know. I dig that record because it was a long process. Like I said, I had to piece it together, but it started off as a joke, and then it just made it to what it is right now, and made it on the record.
And do you play all the instruments?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
On this one, I do with Becca. There is an added drum bit that I don't play, but everything is just right now it's just guitar and vocals. Yeah.
Sweet. That's great. Well, I came across for you. Was it Indie Rampage Radio? I think you was on there, weren't you?
I think so.
Yeah, with May Chow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you was on there. That's where I came across you first of all, I think, or it was somewhere on Facebook, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Well, you know, and then I listened to your stuff, and Looking Glass, I was like, "This is absolutely unbelievable! What a song, man!"
Oh, thank you.
I know you wrote it for a different reason to what I see it as, but yeah, it's incredible how music can touch people, right?
Yeah. That's what I want. That's why I like to make music. And sometimes people ask you like, "Oh, what's the song about?" And I'm like, for me, it's about this. But when you hear it, I want it to be different. It's okay if it's different. I want to know how my feelings. Maybe I wrote that song or write a song like in a bad way. Maybe I was really sad. I'll give you a quick example. Like Lionel Richie. Now, don't quote me on this, but I've heard allegedly that Lionel Richie wrote All Night Long on the saddest day of his life. Oh, night long. It's a happy song, but he wrote it on his saddest day. But people interpret his music different, and that's like great, And I'm like, right. Yes, I would take, some people say Beck is a country song, and like, in my opinion, I don't know. But as long as you feel something from it, as long as you feel something,
it's surreal though, that feeling when you perform it, say in a pub or an open mic or something, and somebody's singing along, or they come along and say, "What a great song that is," and you think, "Okay." It's like when I wrote a song personally, and somebody sang it in open mic, like they're mouthing it because I've played it a few times, and I'm thinking, that's crazy, I wrote this in a bedroom. It's really weird feeling, man. It's weird.
It is.
But it's fantastic.
The first time I seen someone sing along to one of my songs, it was hard. I couldn't look at them because I almost cried. I almost did it because it was like, wow, really? You know the words to my song, like, and you're singing it back, and you're feeling it like that. It's incredible to touch another person from your art. Maybe, like you just woke up and just had a song in their head and you played it, and maybe you threw it away for a couple weeks or a couple months, maybe a couple years, but then you put it out to the public, and someone they instantly feel it, and they're right there with you, and they know it, and it means, it's an anthem for them.
Now, how do you feel about letting it go? When you've recorded it, you've got it down, you've got the track down, and then you come to releasing it, and you think, "Oh God, this is going to the world. This is going to get. It's up for criticism. It's up for this. It's up for that." That's like, as Mick Hucknall said of Simply Red. He once said, "It's like letting a baby into the world. You've created something, and now you're letting it leave home."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling, man.
It's scary because you're, one, hopeful, and two, you're kind of like, oh, who knows if they're going to get it. But that's when it comes down to writing exactly the things that make you feel good. So I might say some quirky things in my lyrics. Like if you listen to the intro to Recycle, like it's like, watching porn for the plot lines. You got your bias and I got mine. Like, I'm happy with it. I don't care if you don't like it. You know what I mean? I wrote it for me, and it has a meaning to me. So I'm like, I know what I was saying, So I don't mind the criticism if it's negative. If it's positive, I'm like, all right, cool. I appreciate that. But I'm like, okay, are you really watching porn for the plot lines? Is this your thing? But I don't know. But you just have to be true to yourself and just write that way. But
exactly.
So when I release it, I'm pretty okay with it. But overall, I honestly, sometimes I think it's going to be terrible because I'm like most musicians, and I just can't stand the sound of my own voice. So I automatically think people are going to hate it. I think they're going to hate it. So I'm like, oh, God.
And the other thing is, when you listen it back, do you think, "Oh, I could have changed that line. I could have added something there"?
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
you do
Like
that.
the studios, like I went and listened back to back of the day, and I just played it last night. And on stage, it's just a different feel. And I listened to it. I'm like, I should have sang this part like this, But
Yeah.
yeah, it's out there now. What am I gonna do?
But with some artists, right, when they go live and they go, do the live show, they change the song completely anyway. They
Yeah.
turn it around, don't they? And you think, well, where did that come from? That's not on the record. But
Right.
you're not supposed to do it like the record if you're going live.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to have fun with it, which is like the beauty of it. Sometimes, there's I'm a huge fan of Gary Clark Jr. and sometimes I like his live stuff way better than I like the record, even though it's the exact same song. It's kind of the same, but I can just feel his emotions and feel this different way, and it's always a little bit different, but it's the same. But it's like it's amazing, Live is great.
Would you say that's your hero of music, or is there various artists?
There's a lot. There's a lot. It's I was listening to the Jackson 5 earlier, but a day after that I'm listening to Nirvana, and I'm listening to The Clash, and I'm listening to and they all inspire me to write in those different genres or just express in that kind of way, because they touch me in those ways, to be yourself and just to be larger than life, being yourself.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
So where can we pick up the album? Where can people go to know more about you?
Well, they could find me at James Ethington III on Facebook. I have a personal Facebook page, my music page, James Ethington III Music. They could find the album on Amazon. They could find it on Spotify. It's on more platforms than I know. I'm not a social media guy, so it's kind of hard to it's out there. It's just on all major platforms.
Just go and get it. Don't matter.
Just go get it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, James, thank you very much for the interview. That was cool. I could speak to you all night, but unfortunately, I've got another interview at 9:00.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
I interviewed Owen Paul earlier. Do you know who Owen Paul is?
I do not. No.
He go back and listen to My Favorite Waste of Time. It was from the 80s. Okay. And he was on Top Pops. He was #3 in the UK charts. He was one of these top guys, and he's got a Christmas song out now. He said, I've never thought about doing a Christmas song before, but here we are now. And I'm thinking, I'm interviewing Owen Paul. What's going on? But he's just great.
Wow.
I started doing these interviews last Friday, and I started off with a guy called George Wilson, who was in Brookside in a program soap in England, and he was also in Grangel, another little one in England as well, quite a big star. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And now it's just snowballed. And then I'm thinking, okay, get people because I used to be a radio presenter. Okay. And the lockdown sort of stopped that happening. And I thought, well, get people who's in the lockdown, help musicians, support them. And this is what I've done, and it's just snowballed, man. And now we're here on the 8th interview, nearly of the week. It's like, what's going on?
You're killing it. You're killing it. That's what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I hope to speak to you again soon, James. That was a cool interview, man. Stay in touch.
Thank you so much.
All the best of luck with your album.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me be on here. Appreciate it.
And a Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year.
You too.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, man.
All right.